Hey yo, I just want to say shout out to my red bike. It got stolen about a year ago, and I think about you every day. But you know, now I got a blue bike, and it's not the same, but it's a new life, a new journey. So rest in pedals, red bike, I love you. I like to bask in the tropics with a flask in my pocket. If you acting no brolic, I'll start laughing and mocking like a charismatic parrot that is a comic. Now I'm feeling like the shit, cause I'm rapping with phonics. Loose off of Jen Ricky's, perusing Sin City, riding my Schwinn smooth like the swing of Ken Griffey. And the felt of the velvet, I said hell with a helmet. I can tell that you're jealous of the smell of the shell.
All right. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. This is DSP News. This is the Snort Report, brought to you by SnortBucks Coffee Company, the best beverage company. Let's go ahead and get into our situation at hand. I gotta say, let me go ahead and move some of these assets around. I gotta say, 2025 has started off to be a rather interesting year, to say the very least, and we're only a few days into it at the current moment. And I saw the wildest shit on Twitter. And now I wish I could remember who it was. I want to say it was either Renton Liar or it was John Riley. It was one of the two, I'm pretty sure, who had put the tweet out which had this small segment. And I was able to go back and actually find it. So I didn't clip this segment myself. So I'm a big kid now. But what shit? Fucking Reviewtechusa ain't sat there and taken the knee, and he's gonna go and work for Rich. I mean, not Rich, sorry. Rich from Reviewtechusa is going to go and work for Keem. Now, most of you are like, man, you're a fucking liar. What the fuck you talking about? You're going to learn. You're going to learn today. You're going to learn today. I was stunned when I saw this silly shit. I was stunned. All that hot shit Rich was talking literally 6 months ago. And you decide to go slum for Keem? Now, I'm not saying, I mean, it'll be a steady paycheck. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to... It might help you clean up a little bit of your brand. It'll get him closer to Becky, which is, I want to say that was your ex, but she wasn't even really your ex because you ain't never had no pay time with her. But whatever. So it does get you some resources or access to some resources or whatnot, sponsorships, endorsements, stuff like that. There is some upside for working for Keem, but aren't you the same bitch Rich who said that, you know what I'm saying, you wanted the real estate, no one else was going to get it? Matter of fact, let's cut the bullshit. Let's go ahead and get a hard Snorts in here. Let's go ahead and catch a drink on this shit. It's 5 p.m. somewhere. All right. So anyway, well, before we even get into that, let's go ahead and get into our favorite segment, mine, yours, everybody's, and whatnot. Welcome to my TED Talk. Okay, how is it that you gonna sit there and spark all that hot shit last year in 2024? Because as you know, Rich had a pretty shitty 2024. Pretty shitty. You know what I'm saying? You ain't sat there and started a fucking war, so to speak, with detractors for no damn reason. You ain't sat there and had that fallout with Jay, which made you look like an asshole in front of everybody. And then all those additional stories came out about how much of a shithead you were over the years. All that shit came out on you. You've done some absolutely ridiculous fucking monkey shit. And now, and then you end up having the situation with side scrollers before that, and all this extra shit that didn't even need to happen. And Keem gave you some opportunities to come up there, talk about the situation, give your side of the story. Oh, I'm not going over there. I'm not giving them any real estate. They got to speak to me. Yada, yada, yada. You ain't sat there and lied to Keem's face about the shit with the fucking jerk off fucking video you made for some girl on Twitter or girls on Twitter, whatever. You ain't sat there and lied about that bullshit, said it was actually meant for your baby's mama. That's who you sent it to, but you really didn't. It got sent there. You tried to go ahead and say this bullshit about, oh, maybe my phone got hacked, or shut that nonsense up. You did all this silly ass shit. Fucking Kino Casino ate off you good. DSP to some degree ate good, I guess. Fucking Lolcow Live ate off your dumbass. All that shit, you absolutely humiliated yourself. Keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, just in case y'all don't know. This idiot, this gay gorilla, as his dad likes to call him, this idiot right here got uninvited from Thanksgiving and Christmas, according to him. You know what I'm saying? He wants to sit there and blame other people for the supposed CP bullshit, which they should uninvite him for that shit, to be honest with you. But truth be told, it more than likely was linked to the fact that there's a video of you in your office, clearly your office, of you jerking off and you sent it to one chick, 3 chicks, 5 chicks, whatever. And then my real question is, what were the ages of some of those women or girls or whatever the fuck, Rich? Because Tipster, you know what I'm saying? Because you spoke to Tipster earlier on before that, right? Before this situation blew up. That's how we found out why you got demonetized and why Reviewtechusa ended up fucking falling into the ether, got sent to the shadow realm. He says he moves around some of those same circles. Now, I'm not accusing Tipster of talking to girls that are underage. I'm not saying that. I am saying, though, that some of the girls that float around there aren't necessarily of age. You know what I'm saying? Now, Tipster might be smart enough to avoid all that. Whatever. But Tipster says at least some of the women that you've talked to, Rich, he knows some of them. He's spoken to some of them. So that leads to all kinds of weird ass questions and shit. Like, what the fuck are you doing? And then it's even worse that you ain't got your baby's mama, the one that you supposedly sent that jerk off tape to. You got her out here basically pleading with some of these e-thoughts to stop distracting you from your obligations to your kids and the possibility of you building your relationship with her. Oh my Christ! If you guys really dig into 2014 and that weirdo shit that Rich was in, you'll find some absolutely laughable / pathetic shit. Anyway, I might do a video on that later. But amongst all of that, you turn your bitch ass around and go and slum for one of the people who was literally trying to help you, but you didn't lie to his face. This is what you decided to do? And then I didn't even speak on the fact that you and Jay made up, right? Which, whatever. You could say, you guys are trying to be men about this shit, this, that, and the third. But from what I watched, I'm going to go over that too. But from what I saw, you guys only did it to secure the bag. You guys basically pay pigs and whales. And they were getting tired of the beef between you two. And so you guys basically were like, okay, we're getting this divorce, but we need you guys to behave for the betterment of everybody. That's literally what that was. Jesus Christ. Okay. Holy shit. All right. Holy shit. Now, I have to say, even though people say that they feel like Lol Cow Live is scripted, but then again, Lol Cow Queens is probably the more entertaining shit at the moment anyway. The way it's presented, this situation I'm about to bring you guys into, that Rich didn't know what was going on. He says that he saw his face in the thumbnail. He didn't know what the fuck was going on. He saw an invitation to come onto the show tonight. He pops up, and that's when he gets presented with this opportunity, and Jay does later on. Well, we're going to watch all that in its fullness, about 22 minutes, give or take. But this is where my problem comes into play. Rich has been on Lol Cow Live, on Lol Cow Queens at least twice. Maybe 3 times, but at least twice. So you're telling me, Rich, that you didn't know what was going on before you showed up on this stream? See, because rule number 1, a lol cow is a lol cow. Rule number 2 is all lol cows lie. Rule number 3 is you can't believe a lol cow. So I'm really, really struggling to believe that you didn't know what the fuck was going on with this. But semantics. You know what I'm saying? Semantics. It's 2025. It's a new year. Maybe I should go ahead and give you a bit of grace. I'm not going to because you're not deserving of it. But we're going to go ahead and see what's what. Anyway, you at home can make your own decision on this. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Now let's go ahead and change the scenery a bit. Let's change the scenery a bit. But hold on to your drink, though, because we're not leaving too far from the bar. Let's see here. Damn it, we're having buggy mechanics already. There we go. And whatnot. Some of y'all need some coffee because some of y'all are already slipping and it's early. It's early. Don't blame it on me. That's on y'all. Y'all need a couple of SnortBucks to go ahead and balance y'all out. Don't be drinking with the big boys if you ain't ready for it. All right, ladies and gentlemen. We're here with Lol Cow Live, which this was from, I want to say this is from like January 4th of 2025. I'll have someone put the link down to the video in description if you guys want to check it out. It is what it is. Professional courtesy and all that. Let's see here. See if we can find the video.
We're not trying to make you look like anything.
No. Here we go. Here we go. Actually, this bitch fest that happens before Rich comes in, I want you to hear this shit. Because it's kind of funny. And it kind of bleeds a little bit.
Not trying to make
it kind of bleeds in a little bit to what Rich was trying to justify to people on why he fired Jay, which he doesn't have a justifiable reason for that. You should have paid him out for his last month and then just break. Anybody who argues against that, you're fucking ridiculous, to be honest with you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just pay him out for the last month and be done with it. Easy. It would have been easier that way. He could have saved himself all this problems on his bullshit. On top of the fact that if Rich would have shut the fuck up and instead of running his ass like some chatty patty over there to fucking Facebook, talking shit about Jay, he wouldn't have had all this shit either. But like I said, I got a whole nother video for that shit, for those of you who are interested. So we'll go over that as it sees fit. Now, let me see if I'm actually a professional here, and I got an insert for all this shit. I do. I didn't have it last time. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're here with LolCow Live. This is from January 4th of 2025. Like I said, if anything, the link to that particular video or stream will be down in the description. And we're gonna hear Keem bitch and complain about these LolCows eating at his pockets, and then we're gonna hear about the job offer for Rich and Jay. Here we go.
Make you look like anything, Keem. We're actually busting your balls here.
Guys, yeah, we're just having fun.
Guys, how many times have you heard them after my wallet, right? Publicly on air. They don't fucking
I'm helping you for free to invest in your show.
Let me
What am I doing?
What I am saying, or I will fucking server mute you. They don't hit me up in the DM.
God damn! God damn! Bad enough that you allegedly faked cancer, got a fake tattoo on your face saying liar. Then you got Keem out here making you look like a total bitch. Like a total bitch. Saying shut your ass up. God damn, son, I understand he's your boss and everything, but you guys are supposed to be co-owners in this shit too. Holy fuck, son. Woo!
And they're like, hey, Keem, like, maybe we should figure out this. They don't fucking call me, like, privately. They air any little money grievance publicly on this fucking show with me over and over, and I'm fucking sick of it, bro. I believe it or not, I'm making you motherfuckers money, all right?
I know you
So
are.
why are you
I'm trying to help you make more money by getting Lammy up and running.
Well, here's the thing, and now that I think about it, so you guys own, meaning Boogie and Wings, because obviously Keem owns 50% of the show because there is no fourth. So, well, no, theoretically, if they were splitting the show equally, it would be about 33% around the board. Obviously, Keem would have 34, which would be controlling interest. Semantics. Here's the point. Do you guys only have 33% of LolCow Live, or are you guys going to have a larger stake in this LolCow network? That's not what it's called. That's me putting that out there. This LolCow network, this LolCow idea, LolCow extended universe. That's what this shit's starting to turn into. This LolCow umbrella, whatever the fuck this shit's going to be called. Do you guys have any percentage of that? So let me reword this. Because you guys are the flagship show and the founding show, if you will, of this company that Keem is slowly but surely putting together. Not to say that I have an inside track on this, just let me cook. Do you guys have any stake in what goes on in LolCow Queens? Are any of you guys invested in what will eventually be LolCow LLC? Or whatever this shit's going to be? It makes me wonder. And if you guys don't, maybe you guys should leverage some of your stakes that's in the show into getting some of this ownership. Because if some of you guys are actually doing outside work that doesn't benefit your show, LolCow Live, but you're doing it to help people on other shows that are under this umbrella, maybe you guys should invest in that too. And then you can get a larger stake in it later on down the line. That's just me though. I like my money to make me more money, but not everybody's built like that.
He understands what money grievances are. None of this money comes to me. The show over there making money helps me very, very minusculely.
Okay. Wait. Okay, so Wings is basically saying that he does make some money off LolCow Queens. Okay, here, let me bring that back so we get this in perspective. Now I'm starting to answer my own question.
All right?
I know you are. I'm trying to help you make more money by getting Lammy up and running.
I think he understands what money grievances are. None of this money comes to me. The show over there making money helps me very, very minusculely. We're helping you get your people ready to make you money. When you put this money back, they're going to pay you back through the work that they create.
Wait, okay, okay, a lot to unpack there. So first things first, excuse me. So Locale Live does get a little bit of money off of what's going on Locale Queens. One of the major controversies that's going on in Locale Queens right now is Becky, the host of the show, or one of the hosts, whatever, got a bonus that Tina and some of the other girls didn't get. But now people are saying that it might have been actually a loan, or she asked Keem to front her the money and it wasn't an actual bonus. But the way Becky portrayed it, she bragged about it as it being a loan. Semantics. I'll deal with that and I'll present that to y'all later if it turns into anything. So the way Wings is talking about, though, he does get a piece of what goes on over there with Locale Queens. Okay, fair enough. Him and Boogie, meaning Wings and Boogie, are telling Keem, hey, we're trying to help you, or trying to help them, these people over there, get their shit together so they can participate in the show so they can make you money. Here's my thing. When Keem brought these people on and hired them for that show, did he not know what particulars that they had, like equipment wise and whatever the case may be, that they would need to perform for the show? I'm curious about that. Now, I'm not saying that Keem needs to fork up all this money for mics and for lights and all this bullshit like he did with Boogie, Wings, and Tommy C. For those of you who remember, that's when Locale Podcast was a thing before that got fucked up and it became Locale Live. So I'm not saying that he has to do that for, every show he does. But shouldn't he not know? So let's reword that. Shouldn't he know what the capabilities are of the talent that he's hiring on for the show that he's trying to produce? That's just basic common sense? So if someone on the show is fucked up in some type of way, shape, or form, I'm not saying that he has to fork the money over to get them, a mic or a laptop or a PC or whatever the case may be. But something should be worked out. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you got to cut them on the back end and whatnot so you can front this money over, or if Wings and Boogie are invested in this shit, have the three of you agree to fork this money up and then have them pay you back, something along those lines. Try to at least meet them halfway, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. But maybe he should have had a better grasp of what these people have before he hired them on. I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking the shit. That just seems kind of weird. That seems kind of irresponsible. It kind of seems like my theory was initially right. I did videos on this, the two of them, I think, on why Locale Podcast failed. And it looks like shit hasn't changed too much.
Yeah, chat, tell me, no, hold on. Let me talk to chat for a second. Tell me that I'm doing something wrong, chat. That while we're waiting on Rich, I wanted to fill a little dead air. I've been helping Glammy get her shit up and
Rich is down there basically flexing his udders. So he's already in position. He's being a good bitch on the bottom where he belongs.
running. We hit a brick wall. The boss wants her ready in how many days? And I'm letting the boss know that we need to get this done for her. I don't get paid for that show being successful. I'm doing it because I like the same person he liked, which is Glammy.
That's a $10 fine.
LMAO.
We'll put it towards your laptop.
That's a $10 fine, talking over the donation.
Put it towards your laptop.
He gets someone into it a fine for talking over super chats? That's wild.
Top.
All I'm saying is you got to understand that almost all the audience looks at me like a rich idiot and I can afford to buy everything, da-da-da-da. You two look at me like a rich idiot and like it doesn't matter what the bill is, I should just pay everything and da-da-da-da.
I never do.
So then you put me in a situation where you're like, oh, you should give Glammy a job, buy her a microphone, buy her this, buy her that, and buy her a brand new PC. And now when I say, I don't know if I want to do that, I've already done this other stuff, I look like an idiot to everyone.
What the fuck? No, you run the business. If you don't want to fork up the money for a laptop or whatever the fuck they need, then fine. You don't fork up the money for it. Pure and simple. So I guess that means she can't be on the show until she got her shit together. Now, let's go back to what I said previously before. That's an option. It's not an obligation. And on top of that, why didn't you make sure that these people had their shit together before you offered them a position on the show? Oh man, I'm getting really meat meals around this bitch. I just want to know.
and I can't
Meanwhile,
win.
boss, I'm going to the wedding on my dime. I had no intention of billing you for hotels, gas, or anything else. On top of that, boss, I'm providing a wedding gift for them that's coming out of my pocket. On top of that, boss.
Well, wait, if this wedding is gonna get turned into content, you better bill his ass for that shit because it's considered a business expense. Keem's just gonna write it off anyway. Just like what he did with all the computers and all that other bullshit that he purchased for y'all. He wrote that shit. No, let me stop. He wrote all that stuff off too. So I get where Keem's coming from. He doesn't want to be looked at as Mr. Moneybanks and shit. And he has to, basically fork all this money up on the front end to get the show started. I get that. I can respect that. Yet again, we're not doing any due diligence as we're citing these people that we're trying to bring into this business, though. That's a problem. That's a problem. He needs to correct that shit. And with all these new projects you're starting, is there not a project manager? And if so, does that project manager have some type of budget? And if so, what's that budget look like? Because you're going to have people that may be, they may not have something. They may not be able to get a loan. They may not have anybody that can loan them the money. So if you fork this money up, then you're going to take that out. You're going to take that shit out of the profits. Obviously you tell them about that up front because you got to keep it on the up and up. But I don't know, man. Like, are we just pulling bums off the street to just get shit done? I don't get it.
My expenses for last month, I just let free flow. My expenses for the month before, I let it free flow. I don't come after your fucking pocket. I don't worry about it. I just collect.
Wait, you're fucking racking up these expenses that are supposed to be based on the show, and you're not billing him for that shit? I'll say this right now. For any detractor, troll, hater, or critic in the future that gets an opportunity to go over there and get money over there and whatnot, God bless you. Get your bread. If that ends up being the case and you have to do anything that's outside of your average or what's you're contractually to do, bill him. If you got to travel out of state for whatever reason, for whatever show that you're on, bill his ass for that. Hotel stay, gas, basically food, whatever else. Bill him for all that shit. Make sure you have all your receipts so you're keeping everything on the up and up. And get copies made. But bill him for all that shit. Fuck all that bullshit. This is business. You don't let people slide on shit. You don't let people slide on shit. You know what I'm saying? And as Wings and Boogie own a piece of this business and whatnot, that shit needs to be written off. And like, obviously, Boogie's going to write that shit off. Obviously, this conversation is a bit of a fluff. Let's be honest. But the incompetency here is kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy.
Check and I fucking smile. So don't fucking put this
shit.
And
in a lot of ways, this is a backhanded smack towards Rich. And I don't even think Rich is smart enough to see that. Whatever. I'm not here to help Rich. Fuck Rich.
Shit on me.
You put me in a situation when I say no to me having to pay for something, I look horrible to everyone. Because they're like, well, he's rich.
I thought
this is literally a shot at Rich. This is literally a shot at Review Tech. Oh, fuck. I wonder if he's not saying anything because he can't fight back? Or he really doesn't see that this whole conversation is a backslap at him. Oh, that's so crazy. Oh, that gay little gorilla. Well, it's not little. Well, he is little. He's barely 5'7".
You would want to invest in your girl for your show. If I'm wrong, then I guess I'll fucking do it.
I already have. Well,
she's not. She's at another brick wall. So do you?
So wait. So not Rich. Sorry. Did Keem like front her in advance, or did he give her sign-on bonus, and yet she ain't sat there and fucked that money up and needs more money? Ah, damn, son. This shit starting. I mean, then again, they're all lol cows, so I expect them to be fucking irresponsible idiots. No surprise there, I guess.
Want to fire her or work on it? What do you want me to do? Tell her to go fuck herself?
Look bad saying you can't float $1,000 that you're going to get back.
See? What did he say? Listen to what he said.
I'm not saying. I'm just telling me what you want me to do.
Wings, you need to turn your fucking mic down like 6,000 decibels, dude. Jesus Christ.
Did you hear what he said? You make yourself look bad because you can't float $1,000. See? That's it right there. That's what I'm talking about.
That's the expectation what people look like.
And I do look bad because of it. And that's what I'm saying. Do you understand what I'm saying now?
This is literally a slap at Rich. This is literally a slap at Rich. I'm wondering if that's just starting to set in. Oh, that's kind of wild.
You're saying I can easily pay this $1,000 for a new PC, and the fact that I'm not doing it,
you might not be able to. I don't know.
I don't know any of your other investments.
This is what I'm saying. This is exactly what I'm saying.
I don't know what your input output is. I'm just saying Glammy needs a lot of help. I thought it was funny that she's running a Chromebook. I thought that was funny. I thought we would all laugh.
You're putting me in a situation where I look bad no matter what, where now I have to buy a $1,000 PC.
I mean, it doesn't have to be $1,000 though. I mean, all right, whatever.
You don't. I do. Get one for $600
because you said it
her
live
Chromebook.
on the air.
You could get anything to replace a Chromebook for $10.
Did you DM me this? Did you get on the phone call with me, or did
you
do it?
I thought it was funny to bring it up. I learned about it 30 seconds ago, and so I thought about, it'd be funny to bring up the show. Haha, Glammy's on a Chromebook. How funny is that? That's what I thought.
Sorry, they're saying I'm too loud too.
Rich, the problem is most people probably have already adjusted my volume.
Oh, you are too loud.
You're fine now. You're fine now.
No, Rich, you were too loud, and that was my issue because I had you cranked up. You must have been quieter before in Discord. But yeah, you guys constantly put me in this weird situation where I just have to dish out money left and right. And don't worry, I'll get my money back because Glammy is going to get a new PC, and it's going to come from both of you. Thank you so much for...
You know what? Fine. As long as Glammy or you pays me back later, I'll front it right now. I don't give a fuck.
I'm just so sick of you guys pocket watching me and taking advantage of me over and over again.
Pocket watches you like the claim that they pocket watch you. And I said, I'm cool with floating her the money, but like if I float loans at loan sharp prices.
It's just
no, I'll do it. I'll do it for 0% interest. No problem.
It's just Keem, you should buy this.
I got you, Glammy. I got you.
Go do this, and Keem got to do. I'm sorry, but when I go to my bank account.
In fact, I'll tell you what I'll do.
I'm still talking. I'm sick of you interrupting me. You're gonna stop. Your server muted for fucking at least half the show now because you do it every time I talk. You need to listen and not just talk because you do it.
Okay, I might be giving them too much credit, but this is definitely a shot at Rich. Now, this is a massive fucking shot at Rich and whatnot, because some of the same vernacular was used during this process when Rich was bitching at his fucking audience about why he felt justified in not paying Jay. This is good. This is good. It may be staged though, but it's good. At least this segment is anyway.
Everyone, I don't know why you're rolling your eyes. You don't let anyone speak. When someone's talking, you constantly interrupt them. You fat fucking idiot. And I'm sick of it, all right? When I go to my bank account, it does not say Jordy Jordan or Steve Williams. It says fucking Daniel Keem, all right? That's my name, and that's my bank account. You guys need to understand that. It's not your money. Stop telling people publicly what Keem's buying and what Keem is doing. Stop it. Stop it. It's fucking annoying, and it's disrespectful as hell.
Okay.
What's up, Rich? Welcome to the Local Live universe.
Why is it all broken up? Are they talking to me? I don't hear a fucking thing there right now.
Can you not hear us, Rich?
Now I can hear you.
Yeah.
Well, they're fighting. I'm not going to sit there and like interject.
I'm not fighting. I'm just having a good ass fucking time. I think it's crazy that this man is making an issue.
I don't even know. I just come on. First off, I'm like, I get home, I eat dinner, I look, and I see a thumbnail of me. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And then I come on here, and it's mid argument. So that's
well. Here's the argument. Keem is mad because he's got to float that amount of money. Like Geico is expecting me to float $9,000 for my truck repair before they reimburse me.
God damn!
I don't have an issue with it.
Holy shit! What the hell happened to your truck?
I hit a deer taking Tina home for Thanksgiving.
Oh my god! How bad? I'm guessing it was really fucking bad. Obviously,
no, it wasn't that bad. It's just everything's expensive. I have a newer car.
Shit, though.
Jesus Christ.
That's painful.
Yeah.
So listen.
I guess he should have thought about that before Wings. I mean, I guess he should have thought about that before he invested in that new home theater nonsense he's got going on.
What's this thing about me being low energy in my streams, especially since I have not done pot in like 10 weeks?
No, because I don't believe that no pot bullshit, first off. 2, you're fucking lazy as shit. 3, have you ever seen a Rich stream, bruh? There's a whole lot of dead space in that bitch. I can see why Jay couldn't cut that shit up for shorts or for clips. Like, Jesus Christ.
Most of this is based off of your previous streams. Like every time you've ever came in here, you know, your name was like Reviewtechusa, and you come in with like a shitty mic, your sound was bad, and you had no energy, and you fall asleep in the corner.
When did that happen? I mean, listen, that's part of the reason I got off the pot.
When did that happen? That was part of the reason why I got off the weed. This shit writes itself. Oh my god.
Like a shitty mic, your sound was bad, and you had no energy, and you fall asleep in the corner.
When did that happen? I mean, but listen, that's part of the reason I got off the pot too. Okay, because when I was on the fucking streams, people were saying that like my energy was shit compared to what it used to be. But usually,
I mean, your energy was shit before that. But all right,
people tell me I don't shut the fuck up. They want me to shut up more when I stream.
X the doubt on that. But all right.
I'm trying to get into a good mindset, but it's been completely destroyed. But we were talking about launching a show with possibly like Reviewtechusa and Jay, and I was trying to like think of what that show would be, and somebody mentioned reviewing tech or whatever, but I'm like, I don't know, like, yeah, that could be part of it, but that can't be the show. How do we make that show? How do we revamp that show? You and Jay had magic, all right, when you were on a show together, all right? There was something there. I was not a fucking fan of it at all.
Well, yeah, it was kind of trash. There was no structure to it. And the gay jokes was just unnecessary. Like, oh my God, it was unnecessary.
I can tell you that right now. But you two working together, there was magic. I don't think it needs to be homophobic jokes 24/7 and chickens on your titties.
No, I
and all
agree.
That. I think it could be, I think the sky's the limit on what a show with Reviewtechusa and Jay could be. But like, I wanted to brainstorm a little.
I don't know about all that. I think if you present him with like I said, you present him with news articles and whatnot. You have, Keem has his team, saying filter out go and find the articles, filter that shit out, give it to Jay. Jay reads them. Fucking Review Tech gives his fucking opinion on that. Jay gives his opinion on it, and then they move on to the next topic. That could work. And then if you can occasionally bring people in from the industry or whatever, and have a conversation about certain stuff that's going on with there, that could work. Other than that, I don't know about sky's the limit. Like this is going to be a very niche type shit. You know what I'm saying? Very niche type shit. They're not going to be out there driving Teslas. Well, I don't know if anybody wants to do that as of late. But anyway, I don't expect them to like, to be out there actually having sponsorships, bringing tech to them, bringing the hottest phones and everything. I mean, not to say they couldn't do that, but I don't expect that. So let's try to think small and be reasonable, be practical, and then try to build from there. But I wouldn't say the sky's the limit, though. There's a reason why. There's a glaring reason why, honestly, why they failed the first time. But whatever.
A little bit, and then plus, Rich, I wanted you to stick around because there's a big story that I wanted your thoughts on.
No. Okay.
You guys got me?
We do.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know why my camera's not working. Hang
on.
Listen, let's start a technology show where my camera doesn't work.
Sometimes you have to leave and come back.
Can I shoot a couple ideas for Rich and Jay here?
Yeah, I'll be back then. 1 sec.
Okay.
Because I was talking to Jay this morning about it, and like the idea of the show itself, like obviously you're passionate about certain things like gaming news and situations like that. The Switch 2's launching. Jay has a huge passion for the Switch 2, and that shows through, and people want to look at things that are passionate.
I don't think he does anymore. I don't think he has that passion anymore for that shit.
Well, no,
I don't
actually,
think Rich does, but Jay probably does.
Yeah, I definitely do. I definitely do. By the way, fire me, Rich.
Listen,
but no,
you're fired again.
Yeah, thank you. Listen, I'll do the show as long as I'm not able to be fired by Rich.
No, you want to. I don't fire people. I mean,
oh, that was cute. I don't fire people. I said, how many times has Becky gotten fired? Fucking A.
You're fired again.
How many times did fucking Wings and Boogie get fired? Now that I think about it, if I'm gonna go ahead and start reaching.
Yeah, thank you. Listen, I'll do the show as long as I'm not able to be fired by Rich.
No, you want to. I don't fire people. I mean,
you don't fire people.
I don't.
Yeah, you've never fired anyone ever.
Tommy C and Grace would disagree.
Well, Tommy C and Grace are different. Those they were impossible to work with.
Well, no, you had a lot of high expectations on Grace. That wasn't going to work out, especially with her father probably wanting to get involved and wanting his cut. So that wasn't going to be a thing. And then Tommy couldn't let go of what happened with fucking Baited. That was Tommy's problem. And I've said this before. Tommy couldn't let go of what happened with Baited. He needed to let that shit go and start anew, to be honest. And it was his, I mean, there's a lot of reasons, but he needed to let that go. And he needed to get past his insecurities that he felt that Keem was putting on him, when in actuality, he put it on himself. On top of that, Tommy wasn't built for it. Dealing with what goes on in the commentator community and dealing with locals are two separate things. And those boys in the commentator community always thought they could come over and do the local shit and they could make it work, but they couldn't because they always looked at it through the lens of a commentator. Whereas someone who does Detractor content can do commentator shit and it can flow easily. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're gonna come into local shit, you kind of have to be invested to some degree. Not logging or nothing, but you kind of got to be invested in it, and you have to approach it differently than you would with commentary. It's just the way it is. Just because everybody stabs each other in the back the exact same way in the Detractor communities, and in the commentator community doesn't mean that you operate the exact same way. There's a difference.
If you're impossible to work with, then it's just impossible. It's not going to work, you know?
I mean, Tommy quit.
All right. So in terms of the show, like, let's just be realistic here. If you're expanding lolcow and you want to do something interesting, I was in the VC talking to everybody, all the community that's in the Discord, and I said to them, you know, I'm sure 90% of you are into gaming, you're into retro consoles, you're into handheld consoles, you're into PC gaming, blah, blah, blah. Everybody started talking about it, and, you know, Boogie was in there, and we instantly just had this amazing conversation. And I thought, this is what the show should be. This is what we should do on air. And Boogie's like, yeah, that's what we should do. Okay. We should have like a weekly or whatever it would be where we discuss the topics, but
Boogie,
also
Boogie, you're echoing.
You know, sorry?
Boogie, you are echoing.
Yeah, Boogie.
Your headphones.
Oh, it's because I'm absolutely
Rich, can
silent
you fire him,
right
please?
now because I thought I was still muted.
And it doesn't have to be like ultra techie and ultra nerdy, because then
I do excuse me. I do agree that it should be a weekly thing and whatnot. So there's more than enough time to compile all the news stories, which is plenty, and do it that way. Because like if they try to do that shit daily, they're just gonna get burnt the fuck out. That's why Rich's streams are trash, because he's already coming up there high, burnt out, or both. He's certainly distracted.
People will check the fuck out. So it has to be like, yeah, I'm not going to be like shirtless and with a bird on my chest and shit like that.
So now you want to be serious, but then why can't you do that on your own platform? Why is it that these lolcow monkeys want to go ahead and conform for Keem, but they can't seem to make these changes needed for their own shit? Makes you think.
Get that too, but it could be like this in between where people who aren't even into like the ultra tech side, who may be into gaming, will still want to tune in. Because if you get too technical, then you just go to fucking Digital Foundry or people here will want to fall asleep.
Okay, listen, I have a ton of connects in that world that you're talking about. So like, let's say you're talking about something to do with PlayStation. I know a guy that works at fucking PlayStation. I could have him come in and you could ask him questions, right? I know all these people that I could like, you could have guests, and then you could also have the fans from the Discord, the local live Discord, like pop in with some questions and like, okay, now I'm starting to believe it.
See, I think also, I mean, I know you mentioned yesterday, I'm getting feedback again. Somebody has to get fired. Who is that?
Shouldn't be me.
Yeah, Rich, can you make sure you fire them? But listen, when you think about the gaming industry now, it's a fucking...
Wait, I almost let you slip on that. You mentioned yesterday. So what? Oh, I'm about to catch your ass red-handed. Red-handed.
From the Discord, the local live Discord, like pop in with some questions and like, okay, now I'm starting to believe it.
See, I think also, I mean, I know you mentioned yesterday, I'm getting feedback again.
Okay, so this shit isn't brand spanking new. These guys knew at least a couple of days in advance. Come on, bruh. Damn it, Jay, you're not supposed to let that shit out like that. You're supposed to be pretending like this shit's brand spanking new. You're too honest for the game, Jay. You're too honest for the game.
On my chest and shit like that. I get that too, but it could be like this in between where people who aren't even into like the ultra tech side, who may be into gaming, will still want to tune in. Because if you get too technical, then you just go to fucking Digital Foundry or people here will want to fall asleep.
Okay, listen, I have a ton of connects in that world that you're talking about. So like, let's say you're talking about something to do with PlayStation. I know a guy that works at fucking PlayStation. I could have him come in and you could ask him questions, right? I know all these people that I could like, you could have guests, and then you could also have the fans from the Discord, the Low Cut Live Discord, like pop in. Was
the same Discord you have to pay to get into, by the way. So you know, let's keep that in mind. You're gonna pay. You're gonna pay some money to get into that.
Some questions and like, okay, now I'm starting to believe it.
See, I think also, I mean, I know you mentioned yesterday. I'm getting feedback again. Somebody has to get fired. Who is that?
Shouldn't be me.
Yeah, Rich, can you make sure you fire them? But listen, when you think about the gaming industry now, it's a fucking shit show. It's not like we're going to do the show to create drama. You just mentioned the industry and all of this dramas are, you know, revolving around it. And I think it's interesting because we all have different perspectives. Like last night I said to Wings, I said, dude, like, yeah, you could pop in and talk about the rumored Call of Duty that's coming out on the Switch 2. Everybody who's excited about the Switch 2. You guys don't have a platform to talk about that.
It doesn't even matter because the current product, Black Ops 6, is absolute trash on every platform that it's on currently. So it going to Nintendo doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything at all. Like Black Ops 6 is garbage. Oh, it's so garbage. And I honestly think Activision did that shit on purpose. They're purposely trying to tank Treyarch. Because every game publisher that works with Call of Duty has made a stinker, if not worse. But Treyarch hasn't really. You know what I'm saying? Like, they had it's pretty pristine. What you think about Black Ops 3 and 4 is up to you. Cold War is not a Treyarch game. Fight me for that if you want, but it's not a Treyarch game. They were forced to do that bullshit because, what was that? Sledgehammer and Raven couldn't get their shit together, and they literally had to take assets from their own game, Treyarch did, and had to shoehold it into that bullshit to get that to go. And I actually like Cold War a bit, but I'm not gonna. I've never looked at it as a Treyarch game. I think they're purposely trying to tank Black Ops 6. They need it to fail. They need it to fail because the reputation of Treyarch is so strong that people will sit back and wait 2 gaming cycles for the next Treyarch game. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a well-known thing if you float around the Call of Duty community. That, hey, man, the other games, I might check them out, I might not. If not, I'm just going to wait for Treyarch's next game. I'll keep playing this until it comes out. That right there harkens all the way back to Black Ops 2. The game was too good. It was too well made. And when Ghost came out and it was trash, people just continued to play Black Ops 2. When Advanced Warfare came out, people didn't like that. They just went back and played Black Ops 2. And that's why it's hackers galore in this bitch. Because, you know what I'm saying? You have to Activision has to let the hackers come in so they can keep people from playing the old games. Which is ironic because it's Hackers Paradise in Modern Warfare 3, yet there are less fucking hackers in Modern Warfare 3 than there is in Black Ops 6. Let me stop. I'll just record a video on that and whatnot. Because I'm ready to bitch and complain about that on a weekly basis. But that doesn't even matter if it goes to the Switch. It doesn't mean shit. It doesn't mean not a goddamn thing. I'm not saying they shouldn't do it because I'll pick that shit apart. But it doesn't mean anything.
Other than creating this show. You know, you're not going to talk about that on the main show, but I'm sure as shit 100% behind the idea that people would watch if we talked about that technology and had opinions on it and brought in guests. You know, and, you know, Keem probably has a million more contacts than me, but I also have a shit ton of contacts too. I know everybody in the industry, so we could totally bring in devs and have interviews with them and have it be real. Not some fluff piece like, hey.
So then why don't you, Rich, or both why didn't either one of you guys ever do it? And if for some of you out there who even give a shit about this stuff are going to be like, well, maybe that's not the direction of their show and this, that, and third. Fair enough. Then what the fuck was the direction of what they were doing then? I don't know. It makes you wonder.
Your game's coming out. Let's promote it. More like, you know, honest interviews.
And I know there'll be people in the chat that, 1, can't stand me, which is fine. And 2, are going to totally disagree with me and want to rip me a new one, which is fine.
Here's the thing about statements like that. If you're going to come out and say bitch made shit about people are not going to like me, people are not going to like my opinions, people are not going to like my statements, that's a you problem. End of story. End of story. That's a you problem. That's you having a problem with criticism. That's what you having a problem with feedback that doesn't align with your bullshit. That's a you thing. This is not the time and the place to talk about that bullshit. Matter of fact, because you're a lol cow anyway, you should be feeding on that. You should be feeding into that. That should be one of the things that you want. You want hate watchers. You want hate viewership. You want people to say, you know what, fuck you, Rich. You don't know shit about tech, this, that, and the third. That's why your daddy had to build your last PC for you when you were literally struggling to get a power supply in there and throw $10 behind it. I don't advocate throwing money at lol cows. But if you're going to do it, do it. Whatever. I don't advocate for it, but if you're going to do it, then it's your money. Do what you want. You should be feeding into that bullshit. Instead, you're gonna act bitch made like this because you want people to like you. Because let's be honest, ladies and gentlemen, nobody wants people to hate them, right? Like that's a thing. Now, there's people like myself who don't mind it. I'm not gonna lose sleep over it. But truth be told, no one wants that. But if it happens, it happens. You got to deal, especially if your whole life is online, or at least the majority of your life is online. You got to deal with that. So don't come out here and make it bitch-made statements like this. It doesn't help. It just shows another vulnerability that you have that people will pick at. And one could make the argument, oh, well, maybe he's using that as bait. He's not smart enough to use that as bait. Because if he was, he wouldn't have let that fucking bullshit that happened earlier on in this segment, where they were crying, Keem was crying about all these people pecking at his pockets, which is literally a slap at Rich and him and the whole Jay situation. Just saying. And Rich had to have known that because Jay had just admitted that, hey, we were talking about some of this shit yesterday. I don't know if Jay meant to say that, but he did. Whatever.
And I would love to have that on and it would be a fun shit.
No, let me bring that back. Hear him crying like a child over some silly shit.
Some fluff piece like, hey, your game's coming out, let's promote it. More like, honest interviews.
And I know there'll be people in the chat that, one, can't stand me, which is fine, and two, are going to totally disagree with me and want to rip me a new one, which is fine. I would love to have that on and it would be a fun shit show.
Well, here's what I want.
Wait, you want people to actually come on and go blow for blow with you? But you weren't willing to go at Kino Casino and they supposedly you won't sit there and go on Kino Casino and talk to them, and they supposedly got you disinvited from holiday events. They supposedly are the reason why you're having static and or problems with your family currently. So you won't engage them. But let me stop. I'm answering my own question. It's crazy how everybody has all this energy until they get confronted. And then all of a sudden, no one want to do nothing. Get the fuck out of here.
To bring up, and I wanted to ask you, you and I go way, 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 way back. If we're going to do the show together, you and I have to have a bit of fun making fun of each other. Like we went through
shit. I assume that.
Well, dude, like we went through everything. That's why I'm throwing these like fire everybody jokes out there, right? We went through all of that shit.
Yeah, but you're kind of killing. I mean, the fire me joke or this, that, and third, it's getting played out. You're overusing it. You know what I'm saying? Comedic timing. I don't expect comedic timing to be something that you guys possess. But Jesus Christ, man, it's getting old.
But you got to admit, like, you and I have a chemistry on camera that could work for a show like this where Keen can jump in, or Boogie, or Wings, or special guests.
I was convinced for years you two were gay lovers. Like, that's
well,
the chemistry.
I tried.
He
turned me down. He fucking turned me down. That's also why I got fired, but that's a whole other lawsuit.
No, I like it. I think it'll work. I think obviously,
if it wasn't so forced, it might have been funny. And I think that's the thing. I think Jay forces a lot of that shit. And it's not really funny. Same thing with Rich. Rich forces jokes too, just like DSP do. You know what I'm saying? You some of that shit needs to come across or come off naturally. You know what I'm saying?
We'll have a discussion about finances and money and all that stuff, and I'll explain everything.
Yeah, I'm definitely not worried about that. I trust you.
The one thing
Man, fuck that. You didn't learn nothing from Rich. You better get a contract. And everything better be laid out in that shit, which obviously is what Keem's gonna do, because Keem don't want to get sued. Well, maybe most of you people don't know this, but Keem's constantly getting sued. Keem's constantly getting sued. And I'm not laughing because it's not funny, but he's constantly under some type of litigation or some bullshit. Oh boy. So yeah, you better make sure all that shit's in contract, bro.
The thing that worries me is when someone has their own like personal live streams, is I don't want to build somebody up and then they're siphoning the show that I'm building up, that audience over to the wrong person.
That's a shot at Wings. That's a direct shot at Wings context with the case of particulars. So when Wings had the had that thing happen to him on the camping trip, can't remember if it was gallbladder or whatever the fuck it was, and he had to get rushed to the hospital and all that nonsense, this, that, and the third. All of that was supposed to be, that story of what happened and everything was supposed to be for Locale Live. Wings, being the fucking backwater, useless piece of motherfucking shit that he is, thought he was going to go ahead and have his own stream, milk it for money with his particular story, and then basically recycle that shit for Locale Live later to get even more money, instead of doing it the other way around. He could have told the story on Locale Live, leaving out certain details, then and make the big money there on the business that you own or you co-own. And then you could go to your lame ass fucking stream and go ahead and give off the rest. That's how it's supposed to be done. Instead, this idiot hustling in reverse and sat there, screwed himself all up, got himself all smacked the fuck up. I don't even know if that stream's even up on his channel anymore. No one gave a shit on Locale Live by the time it got there, and womp womp. Wasted opportunity. Because he thought he was smarter than everybody else. Imagine that.
No, because I would make sure it wasn't overlapping. I wouldn't do like what Grace did the other fucking day, where she, while you were streaming here, I would be streaming. I mean, I would still stream, but I would make it my own separate shit and make sure when things are scheduled, I'm not streaming at the same time.
That's not necessarily what he's saying. What he's saying and whatnot, because Rich ain't completely missed the fucking point, because that's what Rich does. What Keem is basically trying to say is, hey, whatever it is, whatever big story or event that happens, it happens on Locale Live first. Then we can have trickle-down economics with the rest of you Locale idiots later. That's what it is. It's not about streaming schedules per se or anything like that. If, you know what I'm saying, when it's all hands on deck, it's all hands on deck. When I need you guys here, you guys come. You guys show up and whatnot. And then you guys can get the scraps over there on your own platforms later on. That's what he's kind of saying. And Rich don't necessarily get that. And the reason why is because Rich has been able to, quote unquote, be his own man for a while. Probably a little too long, to be honest with you. He doesn't know what it's like to be regimented. And that's probably a failure on his parents too, but semantics. That's what it comes down to. He's got to be fully committed to this shit. It's going to be to the show first, whatever the tech show that's going to be under Keem's umbrella, and then he's secondary. And Rich is not good at doing that. Wings isn't either. The only reason why Wings is at where he's at now is because of Kelly. She's the one that basically keeps his ass on fucking schedule and shit to make sure that he gets his money. Outside of that, he should have been fired a while ago.
You know what I'm saying? So
I would need the show to be the main focus of both of you, not your personal shit, the show. Your personal shit will grow because the show is going to be so fucking big. It's just naturally going to grow, right? But the focus would be really important to me on the show. Because
I wouldn't get involved, Keem, unless I was 100% behind it. I wouldn't waste my time, and I definitely wouldn't waste your time. So, I mean, that's something we'll talk about on the other side. But, I built...
And that's the response that Rich should have given. That's exactly the response Rich should have given. Instead of going into these fucking empty platitudes over shit that don't mean nothing. You can go ahead and pull that bullshit on people in your audience, but we're getting into some real shit now.
Lapping. I wouldn't do...
Which actually kind of explains, for those of you who may not know, why Rich ain't sat there and fucked up every sponsorship he's ever had. It makes a lot more sense now.
I think obviously, we'll have a discussion about finances and money and all that stuff, and I'll explain everything.
Yeah, I'm definitely not worried about that. I trust
the
you.
one thing that worries me is when someone has their own like personal live streams. Is I don't want to build somebody up and then they're siphoning, the show that I'm building up, that audience over to the wrong person.
No, because I would make sure it wasn't overlapping. I wouldn't do...
Actually, now I think about it, that's actually a pretty good shot, or it could be perceived to be, I should say, a pretty good shot at DSP too, given what he's trying to do with Kino Casino. Because, let's be honest, Kino Casino ain't getting shit off of DSP, per se, at least out of his audience anyway. So... And DSP is the one that has all the upside. I mean, Jesus Christ. He basically had the run of the fucking hen house. Fuck that. He was literally the man as it pertains to the Kino Casino audience, as it pertains to Pay Pigs and Whales for about a month. and he somehow fucked all that up. So I get where Keem's coming from on that front too. But the point being is that could be a direct shot at DSP if you think about it.
Like what Grace did the other fucking day, where while you were streaming here, I would be streaming. I mean, I would still stream, but I would make it my own separate shit and make sure when things are scheduled.
And I get also what Rich is trying to say. He's basically saying that I wouldn't show up on this show while dual streaming on my own personal stream at the same time. I get what Rich is saying, but fuck Rich. I'm going to say what I want.
I'm not streaming at the same time. You know what I'm saying? So
I would need the show to be the main focus of both of you, not your personal shit, the show. Your personal shit will grow because the show is going to be so fucking big. It's just naturally going to grow, right? But the focus would be really important to me on the show. Because
I mean, I wouldn't get involved, Keem, unless I was 100% behind it. I wouldn't waste my time, and I definitely wouldn't waste your time. So, I mean, that's something we'll talk about on the other side. But, you know, I built, you know, after Rich fired me 16 times, I built my own audience here, and I would never sell out to do anything and betray them. So
I don't know if I can actually say that. So, not to say Jay didn't have an audience before Rich, but he's been in bed with Rich. Take that for what you will. For the last like 6 or 7 years. And that's the reason why, like I said, they had their reconciliation stream not too long ago. Because they share an audience. They share Pay Pigs and Whales. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. You guys are a bit more, let's see, not conflicted, compromised. You guys are a bit more, your audiences are a bit more complacent than you're one to let off. But semantics.
I will have a discussion about it, but I get what you're saying. You need people that are invested, and I'm definitely fucking interested to do this and have a lot of fun and make sure people are entertained. Like, you know, I don't come on your show ever or want to come on the show to pull people to my show. I don't give a fuck if they come and see me or not. I just want to be entertaining wherever I am.
Yeah, and if you handle it that way, they'll come and find your personal thing.
Absolutely. That's why
when you have some people come on and they're like, "Oh, on my show, check out da 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 da," and when they do that, it doesn't even work.
I'll make you a fucking promise right now. I'll never mention that I do my own show right now. I'll say it right now.
If you want some.
Jay, you talk too much. Jay, you talk too much. This is coming from someone who talks way too much himself, but you talk too much. This is a moment where you need to be listening and you need to take this all in. Then go ahead and give your retort or your answer. Jesus Christ, you're trying to fight to convince someone of something who already initially believes you. He just needs to know that you're listening, that you hear him, and you understand what he's saying. Just agree and move the fuck on, bro.
Something in a contract or something like that, that's fine. I'm not looking to come here half-ass it just to get a few, what the fuck is going on with wings?
I mean, the fact that something like that would even need to be put into a contract for you, Rich, already says a lot about you. Like, to be honest, that should be something that's verbally told to you. Hey, no self-promotion on this platform. That should be easy. That shouldn't have to be said. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck, bro?
See me or not.
And I would assume all of your contact information would be in the description of all the videos and streams that you guys are on anyway. So anyway, semantics, I might be overthinking it.
I just want to be entertaining wherever I am.
Yeah, and if you handle it that way, they'll come and find your personal
thing.
Absolutely.
That's why I'm
But when you have some people come on and they're like, "Oh, on my show, check out da 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 da," and when they do that, it doesn't even work.
I'll make you a fucking promise right now. I'll never mention that I do my own show right now. I'll say it right now.
If you want something in a contract or something like that, that's fine. I'm not looking to come here half-ass it just to get a few, what the fuck is going on with wings? Just to get a fucking few quick viewers just to come to my thing, because then that's stupid. It's a waste of your time and a waste of my time.
Just so you know what I'm saying? Just so you know, Tina's on pace to make over $100,000 this year with Queens. Like, bro, I'm telling you, like, the show could be big.
Well, that's because Tina's the draw. That's because Tina's the draw. Tina's the one with the mouth on her, and she's funny, she's witty, she's willing to engage with everybody. I mean, all you got to do is feed her. No pun intended. All you got to do is feed her the subject, and she'll do everything else.
Could be big.
Kind of a lot like a PPP if you think about it.
You know. Okay. All right. Well, let's do it. Let's do it. Okay, Jay, if you don't mind, I'll have you drop out because I want Review Tech
Yeah, man, no problem.
sticking around for this one story because I think it's just fucking insane and I want his thoughts on it.
All right, Jay, I'll talk to you later, man.
Can I just say one quick thing publicly here?
Of course.
You know, I just want to clear the air on this with Becky. You know, the truth is Becky messaged me before I talked to anybody for that whole drama aspect there. And I just want to make it clear right now that like Becky essentially said to me that it wasn't about being on a show and it wasn't about being public with it. Or she said that it wasn't about going to Keemstar.
But that's bullshit too. I mean, it's bullshit, but fuck all that. I got a retort for that because I'm an asshole. When Reviewtechusa and Jay had their little makeup stream, the only reason why Rich did it, and more importantly, the only reason why Rich did it when he did it, is because he was going on Lolcow Queens later that week, and he didn't want any additional ammunition to be used against them before he went on there. I mean, he already has enough to basically bring him down a peg or two either which way. But that was the real reason why he did the whole makeup shit with Jay, because he didn't want anybody on Lolcow Queens, mainly Tina, to use that shit against them. So, I mean, you know, what Becky did to you guys, allegedly, is no different than what Rich did to Jay yet again before he went over there and dealt with that shit.
It wasn't about getting views. It was about, like, how she felt about Rich and how he betrayed her and blah, blah, blah. But no, you know, it's how many months later, and now the truth has been revealed that she fucking planned the whole thing clearly just to get onto the show or get some sort of career going again.
But listen,
she used us. She used us.
But listen, what really happened, okay? Becky came on to shit on Rich, all right? Rich took an L. But then Becky got her show, and then she got shit on by everyone. Rich took a W. And now Rich and Jay are about to do their own fucking show in the Local Live universe. And now that's another, you know, it's like everybody's winning.
And see, this is why I was saying in like the video before this, or the video on this subject that I made previously, that this is what the draw is to try to get DSP back in here. And like I said, whether it happens or not, but that's one of the draws. Because let's be honest, excuse me a second. Becky coming in, shitting on Rich when she did, when it was a real hot topic and it meant something to do so, made sense. She finessed that shit into a show. Now, she's not even the top paying person on that show. I mean, she's probably going to break six figures, but I don't think she's going to make more than what Tina's making. But whatever. And now she gets dunked on the regular and shit, but you know what I'm saying? That was the price of doing business. She wasn't doing shit else in her life that was going to bring in that type of money and give her the attention she wanted. So it is what it was. This is the situation that Keem is trying to put out there for DSP. If he goes on Local Live and actually gets into whatever, he's going to be the one to take the shit. And he's going to have to eat it, but he's going to get himself an additional six figures on top of that. The problem is, DSP is not going to be able to handle it. If the dude doesn't have some type of sense of control, he's going to falter. It is what it is. So Keem either has to accept that shit, or he has to figure out a way. He has to figure out a way and or make Phil believe that he's important, even though he's not. Even though he's just a figurehead to get chopped up on, and then they move on. Excuse me. And they move on, but whatever the subject is, whatever the subject matter is. It's not pride. It's just DSP's ego. It's just ego. And he's not willing to give it up because it's the last thing that he has. DSP don't have no pride. DSP has always put his pride into, if you want to call it pride, was in Street Fighter. He don't have that. He used to try to put that shit in his relationship with Panda. He don't have that. He tried to put that shit in the relationship and business relationship with his friends. He don't have that. So what the fuck else does he have to have pride in? It's ego now. It's the only thing left. He's driving on fumes. Unless Keem can figure out a way to utilize that fuel, or those fumes, and turn it into real fucking steam, DSP will rather sit there and falter and just cry from the background that fuck that show, that show ain't shit, and he'll never be able to actually profit off of it. And obviously that's what Keem is dead set on. He's dead set on getting DSP into a deal where he can make money off him. Because there's a lot of people that would take shots at DSP. The problem is, it's not getting him to the table, it's getting him to stay at the table. It doesn't matter how much money you put in front of him. If his ego isn't satiated in some way, appeased, then it don't matter. You know what I'm saying? DSP will just keep bleeding out the same idiots he's been bleeding, and nothing's going to change. So until Keem figures that out, you know what I'm saying? Just keep building up other lolcows around him and whatnot and make that work. And like I said, LTG should be, sooner than later, the next piece on the board. And if you can get LTG to come to the table and you can get him on the board, eventually you can probably get DSP. Now, how they're going to do that, I'm not speaking on that. Keeping that to myself right now. But if you can get LTG to the table, you can work out a deal, then, you know. But then you have to appeal to something that LTG wants. He'll talk about the FGC, but he don't really want to. There's a lot of reactionary nonsense that he could go over, but does Keem want to really deal with all the copyrights and all that bullshit? So you have to find a subject matter that you can bring LTG in. You know what I'm saying? You got to figure that out. And one of the things I'll put out now is probably appealing to either celebrity gossip or fashion. You know what I'm saying? Those are two ways of definitely trying to draw him in, but you have to drum up the interest for that shit. You know what I mean? Celebrity gossip, yeah, sure. But that's going to be difficult. So you could just drop that and make it into YouTuber and streamer drama. That always sells. That always works. Fashion, that's hit or miss. So, you know what I'm saying? You got to be able to appeal to these type of people. And I don't know if LTG has the range to jump into some of these other factors. Maybe he could, maybe he couldn't. Whatever. But until if they get LTG on board, Keem will definitely be a step closer to getting DSP to at least get to the table. But yet again, you got to keep him there once that happens.
When you really look at it, everyone's kind of winning.
I agree.
Thanks, guys. What the fuck is this timeline? Yeah, Jay, I'll talk to you later, man.
Yeah, later, guys.
I mean, I don't know who's losing. It just seems like everybody's winning, you know?
Even on my own stuff, it's like a 180 from like the earlier on in the year, so.
Yeah, it's like.
It is.
What the fuck are you talking about? Viewership's at its all-time low, still losing subs, view bots. The view botting definitely ain't working out too well as of late, and you're definitely view botting. That's for damn sure. Like, you seeing him at 700-800 seems pretty awkward when realistically his number is probably closer to 4. So that's a thing. Yeah, I don't know really what you're talking about. I don't really see a whole lot of turnaround, but you know, whatever. You know what I'm saying? You got to live in your own little bubble with whatever you have, I guess.
That's what it is,
dude. So I really wanted to have you in here for this story, because I already know what Wing's opinion is going to be on it.
Okay.
But let's just jump into this real quick.
Why does Wings have a fucking smirk? Oh.
Who knows?
Why is
he muted?
Yeah, he's muted now.
I am muted. I'm over here watching Boogie grind on his stream game.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm ordering Glammy a laptop, actually.
Are you really?
Yeah, of course not. Why not?
Because
how much are you spending?
I'm just going to spend $300. She said she'll pay me back with the first check. It's not a big deal.
What laptop are you getting with 300 that has USB?
It's not going to be nice, and I don't know if it's going to be good enough. But this is the one I picked, and it's in my price range right now. So
don't just buy shit. Send me what computer you're buying.
If you're going to buy a computer,
yes, go to Rich and ask him for his opinion on the specs. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Gotcha.
Let me pick it out for you.
Or Wings. I know Wings knows some of the shit too.
Yeah,
no problem.
Could you do me a favor and you not just randomly buy shit? I'm so serious on that.
Okay. I mean, it was going to be on my dime. She said she'd pay me back.
Okay,
so.
well, don't buy it yet. Look, you don't understand. If I would have had this call in private and was able to do it where I didn't fucking, look like fucking, Uncle Scrooge over here, it would have been really nice. But you made me have this conversation.
I thought it would just be funny to laugh at the Chromebook. That's all I wanted to do. I just wanted to laugh at the Chromebook. I thought it'd be funny to laugh at the Chromebook.
Here's how you handle that. Yeah, I'll get her one. And then talk about it behind the scenes.
Yeah, but then I'm already publicly saying bro.
Or you say like I'll deal with it a little bit later.
It's all right. Just keep fucking me, boys. Sorry.
But nobody's fucking you.
Fucking you.
Mm-hmm.
He forgets that in about 3 days, I'm the only person that's going to go represent this entire show at a wedding, and I'm bringing the guy. Listen to the gift I'm bringing this guy, by the way.
Wait, I thought. Okay, I know initially it was supposed to be all 3 of them that were going to this wedding. then they told Wings not to show up because Kelly's birthday falls on either the day before or the day after. And Kelly doesn't want to celebrate her birthday with Wings the day or a couple days before that, or even a couple days afterwards. So that immediately excluded him, and there was a whole blow up over that shit. It's in a Lummox and a Breaking Banquet video. I want to go over that because there was some really foul ass shit that Wings said in that. That was just you shouldn't be saying that to your wife, bro. But whatever. When she's just a caretaker to you, what do you care? So I understood Wings not being there. Now Keem ain't going either. And I think the person's birthday they're going to is like a fan of the show. He might even be a pay pig. I don't know. But all right, whatever. He has to be like a top donator or some shit. I don't know if he's just like a friend of theirs. I feel like that dude contributes, but I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that.
I don't want to spoil it for him, but it's fine. I have a FX lightsaber, Darth Vader one. The box is signed by Froggy Fresh. It was a gift to me from Froggy Fresh. I'm going to sign that box and pay it forward. They're going to have a piece of YouTube history that was in a Froggy Fresh video, signed by Froggy Fresh and signed by me. I think that's a banger gift because they're huge Star Wars fans. So that's what I'm bringing. The boss is sending one as well.
Amazing. Fast.
One of the really scary things about these drones and these balloons and stuff is that a lot of times America's fought so many wars and it's never been on this soil. It's been really hard to even reaches, like Pearl Harbor, that happened. But if they're floating shit above us right now and we can't do shit about it, I think things are going to be real different.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, well, we're going to move on. W's in the chat for Review Tech USA.
I might want to move next to Boogie now.
We will be actually one of the first places bombed here in Northwest Arkansas because our entire infrastructure is based off of Walmart, and the home of Walmart is here. You blow up the area I live in, you destroy our infrastructure.
Yeah, I live in a tourist area.
Yeah, I don't know if that's China's priority, but all right. I mean, I get what he's saying, but I don't know if that's going to be one of China's priorities to go after the hub of Walmart, but you never know.
Keem lives near a major center hub.
Nah, I've checked every map. Like, I'm in the safest place. If there's like nuclear war,
Buffalo only exists because of like the fucking Hudson River and it being a hub port to transfer goods into the middle of the country.
Yeah, I live like an hour and change above New York City, so I'm fucked.
Yeah, I'm not targeted. New York City could get nuked and it wouldn't even affect me. Rich is dead though. And so
yeah,
is Becky. Dead. So is Becky. All right.
Wait, Becky's out there in is still in New York? Huh. So I wonder how that. All right, I'm not even gonna put that energy out there. Interesting. I didn't know Becky was still out there. Interesting. All right, whatever.
Guys, Review Tech USA. Rich, me, you, and Jay. Let's get on the phone tomorrow, like around 2 p.m.
Okay, absolutely.
All right, see you, man. Appreciate you.
Thanks for having me on. Bye.
All right. Awesome.
Yeah, this locale extended universe thing is this is gonna be funny. I gotta tell you.
You guys excited about that? Like a Jay and Rich back together under our
umbrella? I'm excited about that. I'm actually nervous about this fucking China thing. Like, this is the first thing in my adult life that's actually scared me.
Well, the reason why I want to bring it up to like, normally I wouldn't bring something so serious here, because this is not the place for it, right? This is like the worst place for it. But we covered the drones, right? And this had direct connection to the drones. And I'm like, fuck, man, I really want to talk about this.
And this right here is my thought that eventually Keem's going to try to get into some type of political foray sooner than later. Now, don't get me wrong. It's not going to be like Tim Pool or fucking Nick Fuentes when he's not getting fucked or taking lousy blowjobs from that one midget running around or whatever. But like, I could see him doing that. And if you, yet again, as any business owner, you want to, the people that you have around you, you want to utilize them as often as possible. So if you can get as many takes on as many shows as you may have, if you can get these people to revolve around each other as often as possible, depending on the subject or whatever, it pays for itself. You know what I'm saying? It pays for itself. And so, yet again, as I said in my previous piece on this, I wasn't expecting the trigger to be pulled on Rich and Jay this soon, but I see the vision. I don't know if it's going to work, but I see the vision.
On Locale Live. And then I figured, you know, fucking Rich, he's kind of like laid back, you know, you know, he's kind of similar and he'll be interested in serious topics.
No, here's a question. What was going to be my take on this? That it wasn't aliens?
I assume that you never believe anything, right? So I thought in your mind would be like, oh, this is all bullshit. That's a fake email or something. Like, you know.
Yeah.
No. Like everything said there was believable. Like it all made more sense than aliens from the sea or something like that. Like it had to be something government based because like people were actively trying to find them and they couldn't do them. They couldn't shoot them out the air. They couldn't have planes catch up to them. Standard civilian drones couldn't catch them. It was obviously reconnaissance or like a modern day spy plane of some sort. And the fact that, you know, what is unbelievable to me in this story is the fact that they can carry a payload. That's scary as fuck because it doesn't even have to be a huge yield payload. It could be something that's strategic that could just fuck people up. Like dropping it. You could do a terrorist act by just dropping one on a church.
You're
right?
damn
just
right.
firebombing a church.
But without further ado, there's been some donos, so let me unpause those.
All right, that's the end of that. Okay, I just wanted you to catch that tail end of it, see what you guys might think. All right, so there you go. There's the offer, which it looks like it's damn near in stone. To be honest with you, I guess after they work out the contracts, how money's going to get put out. It doesn't sound like they're going to have ownership in the show. They're just going to be hosts on it. I don't know if Tina, Becky, or any of the ladies over there on Locale Queens actually have ownership on the show. According to Wings, he actually does make some money off of that show. He has a percentage, let's say. I would assume him and Boogie do. That bitch fest at the beginning of it really screams to me that they were taking shots at Rich right in front of his face and he didn't even see it. I don't know. It's just funny. I mean, like I said, you can always build and grow and whatever. But it's funny that Keem is going to look at fucking Rich and Jay's defunct, whatever the hell you want to call it, and is going to be able, if he actually turns it around and actually makes it into something that's even semi-successful, or at least better than what it was, better than what they have. You know how much of a hyena I'm going to be cackling at that nonsense? Oh, that's so crazy, bro. So crazy. And the fact that Rich took the knee, like Jay, I get it. You know, he don't have no stake in that. He don't have no beef with Keem per se, so it is what it is. But the fact that Rich took the knee this early, that easily. All right, man. Whatever. Silly ass shit, bro. Silly ass shit. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for listening in. I very much appreciate it. I'll catch you guys for the next one, whenever that may be, hopefully sooner than later. It's the Snort Report, DSP News, always late, never breaking, unreliable coverage that you can't count on. Oh, yes, a GTG Network of Productions. For everybody here at Tim Snortons, SnortBucks Coffee Company, and all of our other affiliates and whatnot. I've been your host / anchor, GTG, and I'm signing off. Take care of yourselves, people. Oh, man. That's so crazy. You got to slum for Keem now. That's wild. I mean, I don't know if you call it slumming, but whatever. Oh, my God. You got to take the knee to Keem. So I got to tell you, man, 2025 might be an interesting year for locals, but we'll see. Take care of yourselves, people. Later.
Football's taking the toke, God's making the joke with a Mickey Man or rookie card close pinned to my spoke. I'm partying with the dead like Dia de los Muertos. People look at me funny cause I'm a scarecrow, but I don't care, bro, I'm snacking on apricots. I need my space like an astronaut. I'm in the sun chasing rum with the juice of a plum. In a singing mood, the drinking pools like a bomb. Someone stole my red bike, so I bought a blue one. I was sad, but fuck it, I got a new one. Chasing rum with the juice of a plum. In a singing mood, the drinking pools like a bomb. Someone stole my red bike, so I bought a blue one. I was sad, but fuck it, I got a new one.